All right, so get ready because we're going to take a deep dive into some serious athletic talent.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the nominees for the World Athletics Athlete of the Year Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys sent in a ton of articles about these athletes, and it's basically a list of the best of the best.
For sure.
We're talking 11 Olympic gold medalists just from Paris 2024.
The cream of the crop.
So that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah.
What makes these athletes so incredible?
Exactly.
And by the end, you might even have an idea of who you think deserves to win those awards.
Absolutely. And don't forget, it's not just about those shiny medals from Paris.
Right.
They look at the whole year.
Yeah.
Consistency World records their impact on the sport.
It's the whole picture.
Exactly. The whole picture of athletic excellence.
Love it. And you know what you at home actually get to say?
Oh, yeah.
There's a public vote.
That's right.
But before you cast that vote, let's see who we're dealing with.
Let's do it.
So first up, we have the women nominated for Track Athlete of the Year. And first, we've got Julien Alfred representing St. Lucia.
Now, this is exciting.
Yes.
It's not just the double gold in Paris, the 100-meter and 200 meters,
Amazing.
but she is St. Lucia's first ever Olympic medalist.
Wow.
Ever.
Stop.
Add in a world indoor 60-meter title from earlier this year, and you've got dominance across the board.
And she's only 22.
I know, it's incredible.
So what for you stood out the most about her season, especially that historical win for St. Lucia?
I think it's a combination of just raw speed,
Yeah.
but also that ability to perform when the pressure is on.
Right.
You know, those back-to-back wins in Paris with a whole nation watching?
Yeah.
That's mental toughness right there.
Absolutely. All right, now switching gears a little bit to a name I'm sure you've heard.
Okay.
Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone.
Oh, yeah,
This woman is already a legend in the 400-meter hurdles.
she is.
But in Paris, she just blew her own world record out of the water by almost 0.3 of a second.
It wasn't even close.
It's unbelievable.
Like, to see that kind of jump at that level of competition, it's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
Plus, she helped the U.S. team get another gold in the 4x400-meter relay.
So she's strong in the hurdles and the relays.
Yeah.
Do you think we're seeing her evolve into an even more versatile athlete?
It's possible, for sure.
Yeah.
She's still pretty young in her career.
Yeah.
So who knows, maybe she'll be a dominant force in even more events in the future.
Exciting. Okay, let's move on to the men competing for Track Athlete of the Year.
Okay.
And Jacob Ingebrigtsen from Norway.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a roller coaster of a year for him, don't you think?
I'd say so, yeah.
Couldn't defend his 1,500-meter title in Paris.
Yeah, big surprise.
But then comes back and wins the 5,000-meter.
Which is huge.
And not just wins it.
Right.
He's the first European to do that since 1992.
Amazing.
So for you, as someone who follows athletics closely, what does that tell us about him and how he trains for those events?
It definitely shows that his focus is on strength and endurance.
Right.
More so than pure speed. And we can't forget, he broke the 3,000-meter world record earlier this year.
Yeah.
This guy is all about pushing his limits in different events.
Okay, now this is a story that will give you chills.
Okay.
Let's sail to Bogo.
Yeah.
He wins Botswana's first ever Olympic gold
I love it.
in the 200 meters.
Wow.
With the fastest time of the year, 19.46 seconds.
Unbelievable.
So this is more than just a win.
Right, yeah.
It's like a defining moment for Botswana in the world of athletics.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only 20 years old,
It's incredible.
carrying a whole nation on his shoulders.
The pressure must be immense.
I can't even imagine. All right, let's switch gears again now to the field events.
Okay.
Starting with the women nominated for Field Athlete of the Year.
All right.
And first up, we have Yaroslava Mahuchik from Ukraine.
Right.
And she is quite literally soaring to new heights.
She had a year for the books.
She did.
Not only did she win Olympic gold in Paris,
Mm-hmm.
but just weeks before that, she sets a new high jump world record,
Yeah.
clearing 2.1 meters.
Yeah. That's insane. What do you think about the mental strength it takes to compete at that level, especially with everything going on in her home country of Ukraine?
The focus and dedication it takes to even get to that kind of height is just mind-blowing.
Right.
And then to add in the weight of what's happening in Ukraine,
Yeah.
truly remarkable. She's a testament to the power of the human spirit.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about consistency and just pure dominance.
Okay.
Nafissatou Thiam from Belgium.
Yeah.
She just won her third straight Olympic gold medal in the heptathlon.
Wow.
The first woman ever to do this.
3 in a row.
That's 7 events over 2 days of grueling competition.
Yeah, the heptathlon is just in a league of its own.
Right.
The mental and physical strength you need is crazy.
Yeah.
And then to keep that going for 3 Olympics?
Unheard of.
Unprecedented.
All right, moving on to the men competing for Field Athlete of the Year.
Okay.
You can't talk about pole vaulting without mentioning Armando Duplantis.
Oh, yeah. He's a legend.
This broke the world record 3 times this year.
I know.
Pushing the limit to 6.26 meters.
He's basically rewriting what we thought was possible in pole vaulting.
Totally.
What I love is how he combines power with this almost like balletic grace in the air.
Right.
It's like he's defying gravity.
It's beautiful to watch.
It is.
Plus, he holds the top 8 clearances of the year.
Wow.
And to top it all off, he got engaged.
Oh, congratulations.
Life is good for Mondo.
It is.
But let's not forget about another powerhouse in the field events.
Okay, who's that?
Miltiadis Tentoglou from Greece.
Oh, yeah. This guy is a force.
2-time Olympic champion in the long jump.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, he added a world indoor title to his collection.
Wow.
Leading the world with an 8.65-meter jump.
Just remarkable.
Okay, so we've covered the track and field stars.
We have.
But what about the athletes who compete outside of the stadium?
Oh, yeah, the out-of-stadium events.
Exactly. So let's dive into the out-of-stadium Athlete of the Year categories.
Sounds good.
Starting with the women.
Let's do it.
And get ready for some serious feats of endurance.
Oh, yeah. First, we have Ruth Chepngetich from Kenya, who made history in the marathon.
I heard about this.
She's the first woman to run a sub-2-point race marathon.
Wow.
Smashing the previous world record by almost 2 full minutes.
Can you even imagine?
Can you put that achievement into perspective for us?
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's not just a slight improvement. It's like a whole new era of women's marathon running.
It's insane.
It really is.
And speaking of pushing limits,
Okay.
Sifan Hassan decided to compete in both track and road events at the Olympics.
Really?
2 bronze medals on the track in the 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters.
Wow.
And then wins gold in the marathon, breaking the Olympic record.
This woman is incredible.
The definition of versatility.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the men vying for that out-of-stadium Athlete of the Year award.
Okay.
First up, Brian Daniel Pintado putting Ecuador on the map for race walking. He wins gold in the 20-kilometer race walk, making him Ecuador's 2nd Olympic champion in this event.
That's amazing. And just to solidify their dominance in race walking, he also wins silver in the new mixed marathon race walk relay.
Wow.
So 2 medals.
2 medals.
In incredibly demanding events.
Very impressive.
And last but not least, we have Temur Tola from Ethiopia.
Okay.
This is a story of seizing the moment.
How so?
He wasn't even originally on the Olympic team.
Really?
A last-minute injury replacement.
Wow.
And not only does he win the Olympic marathon, he sets a new Olympic record while doing it.
What a story.
I know. So we've covered a lot already.
We have.
Record-breaking performances, inspiring comebacks, historical wins.
So much.
So before we move on to part 2 of this deep dive, what's something that stood out to you about these athletes?
I mean, honestly, it's just their dedication.
Yeah.
And their unwavering commitment to pushing their limits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not just competing against each other.
Right.
They're challenging the very idea of what's humanly possible.
It's inspiring. All right, so we'll be back in part 2 to dig even deeper into the training, the science, and the personal stories behind these amazing athletes. So stay tuned.
I can't wait.
Me neither.
Welcome back to our deep dive. You know, we're still talking about all those amazing athletes.
I know, it's insane. Like, when you think about the dedication, the pure grit it takes to get to that level, it's unbelievable.
Years of training, the constant pressure.
Right.
Always trying to improve, even just a little bit, because that tiny bit can be what makes you win or lose.
And being able to come back from setbacks.
Yeah.
Remember Jacob Ingebrigtsen's loss in the 1,500 meters?
Yeah.
He could have just given up.
Right.
But he didn't.
Not at all.
Instead, he wins the 5,000 meters.
Right.
And sets a new world record in the 3,000 meters earlier in the year.
And that 3,000-meter record, that was incredible the way he paced himself.
Yeah.
Didn't go all out at the beginning, so he had that energy for a strong finish.
It makes you wonder, what does it even take to train to become like one of these superhuman athletes?
Well, it's definitely not just one thing. You've got intense physical training, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's also got to be specific to their event.
Right.
Then you've got all this cutting-edge sports science, nutrition, recovery strategies.
So it's not just the athlete.
No way. There's a whole team of experts behind the scenes.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. With the athlete at the center of it all.
And technology is playing a bigger role than ever before, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Things like wearable sensors, biomechanical analysis, data-driven insights, all these things are helping athletes get that much better.
So, for example?
Well, Mondo Duplantis uses sensors on his pole to analyze his vault technique,
Wow.
to see if he can make even tiny adjustments to get those few extra centimeters.
That's incredible. It's crazy how technology is changing the future of athletics.
It is.
But it really does still come down to the individual athlete's drive, discipline, and that belief in themselves.
100%. Like, look at Ruth Cheptegei to smash that marathon world record by almost 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not just physical. You need some serious mental strength for that.
I mean, as someone who loves athletics, you know how tough a marathon is.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine running that fast for that long?
It's mind-boggling.
It is. And what about Sifan Hassan?
Oh, yeah.
Deciding to compete in the 5,000 meter to 10,000 meters in the marathon at the Olympics.
Talk about endurance.
I can't even fathom what her training must have been like.
It had to be incredibly demanding, right?
Yeah.
Probably a mix of speed work for those track events and then those long, slow runs to build up the stamina for the marathon.
She's just redefining what we thought was possible.
Yeah, she really is.
And then you have Mondo Duplantis playing higher than we've ever seen in pole vault.
He makes it look so easy.
Right.
But behind those jumps are hours and hours of strength training, plyometrics, and technical drills.
It's all about that pursuit of perfection.
Yeah, never settling.
Now, what about Yaroslava Mahuchik clearing over 2 meters in the high jump?
Oh, yeah.
What does it take to train for something like that? Well, you need that explosive power, flexibility, and perfect technique.
Right.
So her training probably involves weightlifting.
Okay, for strength.
Yeah, and plyometrics to help with that explosiveness.
Makes sense.
And then just countless drills to refine her approach and how she jumps.
Wow, and then we have the mental focus it takes for something like the heptathlon.
Oh, yeah.
And Visithu Thiam winning her 3rd Olympic gold.
Incredible.
7 different events over 2 days.
It's amazing.
What would her training even look like for that?
It would have to be so diverse, right?
Yeah.
Incorporating elements from sprinting, jumping, throwing.
So she basically needs to be good at everything.
Pretty much she has to be proficient in all 7 events and then be able to mentally switch between them.
During the competition.
Yeah, it's like having 7 different competitions in one.
It's mind-blowing. And then you have these newcomers like Letsail Tobogo.
Oh, yeah.
Just bursting onto the scene and making history for Botswana.
It's amazing to see, right?
It is. It shows that raw talent combined with the right coaching and support can really take you places.
Absolutely.
And I think his success is going to inspire a whole new generation of athletes.
In Botswana and beyond.
Exactly. It's so powerful.
It's really exciting to see these new faces challenging the established athletes. It brings this fresh energy to the sport.
It does. It's a reminder that athletics is always evolving.
Always.
New records waiting to be broken. New champions ready to rise.
And it all comes back to that human desire to push boundaries.
Yeah, to achieve greatness, to see what we're truly capable of.
But it's important to remember the human element behind all of these achievements.
Absolutely, we can't forget that.
These athletes aren't just superhumans.
No, they're people.
With their own stories, sacrifices, and motivations.
And behind every victory is a whole journey, of perseverance, discipline, and the support of their coaches, their families, their teammates.
And these athletes often use their platform to inspire others, to advocate for change, to give back to their communities.
It's about more than just winning.
Right.
It's about using their success to make a difference in the world.
Exactly. So as we head into the final part of our deep dive, let's keep that in mind.
Yeah. The human stories behind all these amazing accomplishments.
We'll explore the impact these athletes have as ambassadors for their sport and their countries.
Yes.
And what their achievements mean for the future of athletics. So stay tuned for part 3.
Can't wait.
From the island of the sun, where the waves kiss the shore, Julien Alfred, she's the name we adore. With a heart full of fire and a spirit so bold, she ran for the glory, and now the story's told. She broke the chains, she set the pace. In Paris she won the race. With every stride she touched the sky. St. Lucia's pride, she soared so high. 5'8" got gold, the world now knows. Julian's speed like the wind she blows. From the start to the finish line, she shines so bright, she's one of a kind. In the Stade de France, Under the lights, she took the lead. Oh, what a sight. 10.72, a record so grand. Julien Alfred, the queen of the land. She broke the chain, she set the pace. In Paris, she won the race. With every stride, she touched the sky. St. Lucia's pride. She soared so high, she soared so high. Got gold, the world now knows. Julian's speed like the wind she blows. From the start to the finish line, she shines so bright, she's one of a kind. The front, under the lights, she took the lead. Oh, what a sight. 10.72, a record so grand. Julien Alfred, the queen of the land. She broke the chain, she set the pace. In Paris, she won the race. With every stride, she touched the sky. St. Lucia's pride, she soared so high. Got gold, the world now knows. Julian's speed like the wind she blows. From the start to the finish line, she shines so bright, she's one of a kind. Got gold, the world now knows. Julian's speed like the wind she blows. From the start to the finish line, she shines so bright, she's one of a kind. Under the lights, she took the lead. Oh, what a sight. 10.72, a record so grand. Julien Alfred, the queen of the land, the queen of the land. From the Caribbean shores to the global stage, Julian's story turns a golden page. With every heartbeat, with every cheer, St. Lucia's champion we hold dear. Unfold. Julien Alfred forever bold. With dreams so high and spirits untold. St. Lucia's star, her story's gold.